All right, ladies, are we ready to rock and roll?
Yeah.
Oh, Christopher, I missed your voice.
I missed you girls, and it's good to see two of my very best friends and the queens of networking, the Boston Babes, in three, two, one.
The best leadership happens when you step away for 10 minutes.
This is Back in 10. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Back in 10. I'm Savanah.
And I'm Jen.
And we're so delighted to have our wizard back with us. We had a stint basically because Jen and I were sick for weeks and weeks and weeks. We just had to go rogue for a hot minute. But we want to give a moment to thank the wizard for allowing us to come back into the fold.
Savanah, you guys never left the fold, ever. So.
Oh, thank you.
Don't make me laugh because then I'm going to start coughing. So we're just going to.
It's, you know what? Back in 10 is a range of emotions. We laugh, we cry. It's awesome.
It is. It is.
We try. Mm-hmm. We try. And speaking of, us being sick, we received a question on our socials that we thought we would chat about here today with each other. And it is about being sick. And the listener would like to know what our take is on unlimited sick time.
Mm-hmm.
I wish in the high heavens that I had unlimited sick time just because of this week. But I think unlimited sick time can roll into maybe they also meant unlimited PTO too. Mm-hmm. I feel like unlimited sick time, I don't know that everyone would always use unlimited sick time, or they would use sick time for other things that aren't sick. Jennifer?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I think the sad thing is we end up taking sick time because we're not taking our time to rest and relax our bodies and our minds. And I think that's when we also get run down. That is when we get sick, or we're around a lot of people, right? Especially now, like we're in the middle of the winter, especially up in New England. It's like it's cabin fever. It's like everyone's windows have been closed for a long time. And, things just fester. But look, in the dental industry, it is, I'm going to say, extraordinarily rare to have unlimited sick time.
Unlimited anything.
Unlimited anything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's important that you have sick time for your team. Every state is different, right? Based on their laws and their regulations. I'll say in Massachusetts, you accrue sick time. Other states are like that too. Regardless of what your state policy is, your practice policy, in my mind, needs to be equal or greater than, right? Never less, obviously. I always like being greater than because it makes you look like you care even more, right? And sometimes the laws aren't where they need to be either. It's a minimum, but knowing your team needs to be able to take that time, whether it's for a doctor's appointment, to care for a sick, family member or what have you. Yeah, it's so important.
You touched upon something about people being able to feel like they can take their sick time. And I think that there does need to be, your culture needs to be strong enough that your team doesn't feel guilty when they actually need to take that time. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a bunch of research papers about companies having unlimited policies, whether it's sick time, PTO, and they found that those team members actually don't utilize unlimited policies. They actually take less time than more time. So I think if unlimited anything in your practice is something that you are going to consider, you also need to look at the culture of, if I have two team members who decide to take PTO or sick time, how is that going to affect the rest of the practice and the running of the business as well?
Right. I think you really need to have a rather large team with crossover in every department. So that's when like your cross training comes into play, right? And that's just in general, that's regardless of what your policy is. That's just if someone calls out, right? You need to be able to have people to pick everything up.
Right.
But also, I would hope that your team is supportive of each other so that when someone is out sick, because you hope that no one's out sick for a long period of time, but when someone is out sick, your team is there because they know that when they get sick, inevitably it's going to happen. Either, them or a family member is going to get sick, that they're going to be out. Yep. The rest of the team is going to jump in to support them too. So it's really just important that, your culture is sound. And that you're just communicating with your team. I'll say for me, like I've had to take time just for doctor's appointments and stuff, but I'm a workaholic. Sorry.
Ditto. What time were we working till last night?
Oh my God.
10:30.
First step to recovery is actually admitting you have a problem.
We have a problem.
I'm not saying it's a problem.
Oh, for me, it's a problem. We have been getting better about our personal life, about shutting off work and focusing on personal life, though. I've seen growth in us in the past 18 months with that, because we talk about it all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think, look, like I know for me, it's like, because you and I specifically, and others do, especially as leaders in the practice, there are things that you can do when you're not physically in the practice. Sometimes you actually get more done when you're not physically in the practice. So for me, if I am out, and I'll say this is a toxic trait of mine, I'll just say that, is that if I'm out for whatever reason, in my mind, I feel like I have to make up that time and then some. And I know that other people have felt that way before too. Some might not. I could be the lonely person out here. But I feel like I'm just going to bring it back to Nana. My grandmother instilled this in me. Like, you bust your butt. You just work really hard. And I feel like that maybe I took it to the extreme. I don't know. But it's like, okay, if I'm out for 2 hours for an appointment, I get back and it's like I make up those 2 hours and then I get everything else done. And that's probably just a toxic trait that I have.
I mean, I don't think it's a toxic trait. I think you just enjoy what you do and you're a very driven person. But with that, if you're going to be working beyond what is expected, right? Mm-hmm. Your team will see that and they'll start to model that. So if you're going to offer anything unlimited sick time or PTO, you need to be the leader and also take care of yourself and take some of those days off, because if the team doesn't see you taking days off, they're not going to take days off, because then they're going to start to feel guilty about it. So if you got the policy for the team, make sure you utilize it for yourself as well.
Yeah.
Right?
No, absolutely. And I think, look, I've, led large teams before where, people didn't take time off because we were working so hard, and then they would fight through it, and then they would get even more burnt out. Right. And so there's definitely a balance. I think, I just feel like I don't stop. It's always, you just go, 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 go. Right. And I know a lot of our listeners are like that. They're badass professional people. They just, I don't want to, it's not just women, it's men too. Like, they work so hard and have that owner mentality without being the owner, right? It's just, especially, I feel like, practice leaders, it's a very different mindset. A lot of them, it's like they lead and run that business like it's theirs, like it's their baby, but they have no ownership stake in it.
I was just going to say that. Just remember
that. I know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I read something the other day that has stuck with me, right? This is a little squirrel for like 2 seconds. And I mean, Jen and I have said we send each other all these things on Instagram because we're saving, 90% awesome things, 10% really inappropriate things. This is something that is awesome that aligns with what you just said, Jen. The best career advice I've heard: don't attach your identity to a person, a title, a company, or a project. Attach yourself to a mission, because companies pivot, partners leave, markets change. But if you're loyal to a purpose, you stay powerful anywhere. I think that
True.
is one of the most important messages you could have as a leader who is helping to grow someone else's business. So if they're giving you PTO unlimited, make sure you take some of that time off for yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's recap in the last minute for this. So if your business is thinking about offering unlimited sick time or unlimited PTO, we need to look at modeling it yourself as a leader, because if you don't take it, they won't take it. The guilty effect plays in. We don't want that. I think you need to define what you need to have a reasonable use policy with your PTO or sick time. Like, you can't just be willy-nilly like, you have unlimited, be free. There needs to be, parameters built around that policy. Jen, you brought it up too with, we need to ensure that if we have a couple of people out there, the other team members are there to support the rest of the business. So consider cross training. If you don't have a large team, make sure that you have support in the roles that are not coming in that day. Yeah, I think those would be my top 3 suggestions from this conversation about unlimited sick time or PTO.
And always just check with your HR laws for your state. That's super, super important. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go take some non-unlimited PTO right now and go get a coffee.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
So if your business or team, well, if your business, let's cut that. I'm going to cut that. Let's recap.
Thanks for spending a few minutes with us on Back in 10.
If something made you laugh, nod, or feel a little more human, share it with a friend and make sure that you're subscribed.
You can also follow us on Instagram at Back in 10 Pod for more behind the scenes, updates, and probably a little chaos.
We're not here to have it all figured out. We're just here to tell you the things that we wish someone had told us.
And remind you that leadership doesn't have to be perfect, just real.
We'll be back in 10.